Hi, I'm Lydia West. I'm an actor and this is my life in jewellery. So this is my first piece, which I am currently wearing, which is my maternal grandma's. I think it's jade ring, but it was her mother's, so it's my great-grandmother's. And she gave it to me a couple of years ago. I don't know really what for. I think we were just going through her jewellery box and she was like, and she gave me this and a locket, which I'll show. I do have memories of my grandma when I was maybe 7 or 8 wearing the ring. I guess you always think of like your grandma's hands. She had like such like tender, delicate hand that just smelled like hand lotion. Like hand lotion from the 90s and early 2000s. So that's what I remember, and when I see this ring I just think of that smell, of that grandma smell of just kind of familiarity and warmth and love and sweet, sweet perfume. In saying that, this is the locket that she gave me at the same time, which I don't think has a photo in it. No, it doesn't, but that might be quite a nice thing for me to do. It's just really delicate and it's just really sweet and just holds so much sentimental value. I think I'd put a photo of me and my grandma and I, or my grandparents, maybe one on each side, maybe my grandmother and then my grandfather on each side. And this is from my father's side, my grandma, and this has a really interesting story because when I was in New York a couple of months ago for work, I vowed to myself that I would go to Boston and visit my grandma because I've only met her a couple of times and there's a whole story that I wanted to kind of find out. So I took a road trip to Boston one Sunday morning when I landed in New York unannounced, and I just knocked on her door. She answered and she had made kind of a Caribbean dinner. She's 96 years old. She'd made a Caribbean dinner and we sat down and there I was wanting to get like loads of answers about my dad's childhood and our childhood, but she didn't say a word. So we just sat in silence for a couple of hours and we had dinner, and it was really wholesome and just it was beautiful just to be in her presence. And as I was leaving, I said I have a train to catch, so I was ordering an Uber to get to the train station, and she just came and she handed me 2 of these, and she said one's for Rachel, my sister, and one's for you. And then I went away with this, so that was one of the few times I've met my 96-year-old grandma, and I left with this from Boston. So I came home and told my dad, and he was thrilled. So that's really special, and I don't wear it, but I keep it very, very safe. My next piece is these rose gold hoops. I wore them to a costume fitting for my last job and they took photos of me in them, and the day I arrived at work they were like, oh, where are the earrings that we fit you with for the role? And I was like, oh, they were my own. They're like, oh, can you bring them in? So I went home and I got them, and they used them on the show because they loved them. And yeah, it was just a really fun job, something very different, and I wore them quite a lot. So yeah, they're just kind of my staple go-to. And then my final 2 pieces are these Missima rings, which if I'm just like getting ready, I just put them on. They're just like uniform for me. I just like stick them on and I feel like I'm dressed. So I used to only wear silver jewellery, and I think it's a daunting transition when you're going from silver to gold. It's really hard to do all at once, but I really wanted to do it all at once because I don't like mixing really gold or silver and rose gold. So I had loads of silver jewellery, and just getting these 2 rings just kind of started my gold collection. And after I got these 2, I just then stopped wearing all my silver rings. So I have loads of silver rings at home that I just don't ever. I'll give them to you. So yeah, these kind of just remind me that they're like the introduction to gold and to almost a new me wearing gold jewellery, and yeah, I love it with my skin tone, and I don't know why I ever chose silver. Don't know why I did that. Yeah, these are just kind of everyday go-to classic staple pieces. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Lydia West and this has been my life in jewellery.